Hi there. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this Celebration Tidings Treat Box. And inside, we have a packet of the Walker's Shortbread. I love this stuff, but I saw the plaid packaging of Walker's Shortbread and thought, well, this would be so cute with the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper and then using the Celebration Tidings bundle. I love this bundle. So let me show you how easy this is to make. We're going to start with a 6" by 6" piece of the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. I've got a different plaid here, and I'm going to grab the second largest of the Celebration Labels dies. Now, just a quick tip, even the largest one will perfectly fit on an angle the 6" by 6" Designer Series paper. I love that. So I'm going to bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm actually going to line up this die to cut this plaid pattern at an angle. And one of the things I love about these dies is that stitching that it adds. Super, super cute. Okay, so bringing in the Simply Scored, I'm going to line this up in portrait mode. So I've got that edge flat against the left side, and I'm going to score this at 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to rotate it 180 and do 3/4 of an inch again. And then I'm going to line up this little divot on the short side along the 3" score line. Okay, if you were to push the left side up to the side here, that little divot is going to line up right in between score lines. So if I have it lined up at 3 inches, I'm going to score at 3 3/8 and 2 5/8. That just ensures that we've got a 3/4 of an inch section centered on that little divot. Next, I'm going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. And I don't have a specific template for this piece just because of the shape, but let me show you, this is the template for the box base, and we're going to be cutting in a very similar pattern and adhering it in the same way as well. So I've got this in landscape, and I'm going to come in and cut up each of the vertical score lines, stopping at that first horizontal score line. And I'm just going to fold these sides up and out of the way to sort of isolate that tab there. And we're going to come in and angle cut that tab. Okay, so it looks like that. Then we're going to rotate it 180 and do the same thing, cut up each of the vertical score lines, stopping at that first horizontal, fold those big pieces out of the way. And notch out that tab. So it's looking like a box, but it's just got this great scallop and stitched edge to it. Next, I'm going to bring in liquid glue, and I'm going to apply glue on the back side of one tab at a time. And we're actually going to adhere the tab to the outside of one of the sides as opposed to the inside, which we normally would do. But we want the tab to be out of the way so that the shortbread package doesn't get caught on it. So I've actually adhered that to the outside. We're going to do the same thing to the other tab and also adhering it to the same side. Got the glue on the tab, adhering that to the same side as the other one. We can kind of call this the back side of the lid. Now I'm going to put adhesive on the front sides, but we're only going to do glue right up to that first little scalloped edge. Only because you'll see that they don't completely overlap each other. And I'm just lining up those cut edges on the bottom corner there. We'll have this beautiful scalloped edge on the side. Do the same thing on the other side. Again, glue only up to the scallop, that first scallop. And again, just get it all lined up in place. And that is the lid. Really easy. I love that little scallop and stitching detail. Okay, now for the cardstock for the box base, I've got a piece of cardstock that is cut to a hair more than 3 5/8. And what I mean by that is 3 5/8 and then just shifting it by about 1 millimeter. So that's kind of halfway between the tick marks on the score line. So 3 5/8 plus a little hair. So just a hair more than 3 5/8. And then on the long side, you're going to bring out the arm and you want to do just a hair less than 7. So if you've gone to 7, you've gone too far. So bring it back just about a millimeter. And this is going to make sure that this box base fits nicely inside the lid. Okay, now along the short side, we are going to score this at 2 15/16. That's 1 tick mark before 3. Make sure you're using the scoring tool and not the cutting blade. Score that at 2 15/16. And I'm going to rotate and score it at 2 15/16 again. Just easier to remember one measurement. And then along the long side, we're going to line up this left edge to 3 1/8. Score. Rotate at 180 and do 3 1/8 again. Essentially what we've done is we've now created these score lines that are just less than 3/4 to make sure that that will fit in the lid. Next, I'm going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. Now bring back that template again, and we've got it in landscape. Let me turn this way. We're going to come in and cut up each of the vertical score lines, stopping at the horizontal score line. And again, I kind of like to fold these big pieces out of the way to isolate that tab and come in and miter or angle cut the tab. We'll rotate at 180 and do the same thing. There we go. And then I like to come in with a 2-inch circle punch, and we're just going to punch a little notch out. I don't want to go in too far, but I'm trying to center these score lines on either side of that punch. And that's just going to be a little peek through for the Walker Shortbread. Now we're going to consider this to be the front of the box, so that's going to matter when we come in to adhere the tabs, okay? So that's the template. That'll be up on my blog post. So again, using liquid glue, let's adhere 1 tab at a time. I'm putting it on the back side of the tab. We're going to adhere that to the back side of the box. Again, on the outside, so that the shortbread package doesn't get caught on those tabs. Again, adhering that to the back side. And now we can put glue on each of these sides. And I do like to make sure that that top edge is lined up really nicely. Liquid glue gives you a little bit of wiggle room to do that. We'll go the other side here. Again, lining up that top edge there. All right, so let's grab a package of shortbread. Fits nicely in there. Let's hope the lid fits because we did our measurements. And that is a perfect snug fit. The lid's not falling off, but that gave me no trouble going onto the box. Now I'm going to bring in the silver metallic edge ribbon. We're going to tie a little bow around the top of the box. All right, I've slid that bow up towards the top. Now we're going to do a little bit of stamping using the sentiment Just For You from Celebration Tidings. I'm going to stamp that on Whisper White and Cherry Cobbler ink. But first I'm going to bring in the banner's Pick-a-Punch. I've cut a strip of Whisper White to just under 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to line that up in the banner punch here, right in that center tray. And I'm just flipping it over to make sure that that's centered right and left. Like so. So punch the banner first, then you don't need to worry about the length of your strip. Then we'll stamp the sentiment close to the banner end here. And I'm just going to bring in my paper snips and just cut a straight edge on the right. Then using liquid glue, I'm going to come in and we're going to adhere this just to the right edge. Then I'm going to come in with a mini glue dot and let's secure the knot of our bow down. Let's get it to where we want it. Just hide that right under the knot. That'll keep the bow in place. And then I'm just going to grab a rhinestone for a little piece of flair. And there is our Celebration Tidings Treat Box, size to fit a package of Walker's Shortbread. I love how it turned out with this plaid paper. Look at the different possibilities. Really easy to change this up for different occasions as well. So thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss my next video. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products I used today, they'll be linked in the description. And I'll also include a link to my detailed blog post with all project measurements, details, and a picture of the template. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com, where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. And if you don't want to miss a thing, you can subscribe to receive blog updates, and you'll receive an email each time I publish a new post. You can shop with me anytime at thepaperpixie.com/shop. And if you're interested in a discount on your Stampin' Up! Purchases, the starter kit is the ultimate bundle, and it's a great way to fill your wish list for less. I'd love to have you join the Stampin' Up! Family and my team of Paper Pixies. You can purchase the starter kit at thepaperpixie.com/join. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you'd like a complimentary copy of one of our catalogs, you can order catalogs through me at thepaperpixie.com/catalogs. And if you give this project a try, I'd love to see what you made, so feel free to share it on social media with the hashtag #PaperPixie, and I'll be sure to check it out. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.